We are witnessing something I honestly didn't think I'd ever see again. Call of Duty, the king, the untouchable franchise that's been sitting on the FPS throne for over a decade, just got embarrassed. Not by a new IP, not by some indie surprise, but by the one rival that's been waiting patiently in the shadows for years. Battlefield is back. And it didn't just return. It came swinging harder than ever, landing a knockout punch that shook the entire FPS scene. Now, I know that sounds dramatic, but when you see the numbers, the reactions, and the absolute meltdown happening across the COD community right now, you'll realize this isn't just another Battlefield versus COD debate. This is a straight-up turning point in gaming history.
And after watching a match or two of Scumpy's stream and watching other people, I was very disappointed. Now, I came in with very low expectations. I want to make sure I make that very clear because I knew it was probably going to be another MW2 2022 to MW3 2023 situation. And that's exactly what it was, but it's probably even worse. I had low expectations and they still disappointed me. This game is literally Black Ops 6 2.0 with tac sprint taken away, which is still not even really taken away. You just got to put on a perk to use it, and wall jumping. That's really all it is, with a few little tweaks here and there of the UI to make it look a little bit more futuristic, but everything else looks pretty much the same.
Let's start with what lit this whole thing on fire: the beta numbers. When the Battlefield 6 beta dropped, it absolutely exploded on Steam, peaking at over 500,000 players in its first 24 hours. Compare that to Black Ops 7's beta, which barely cracked 74,000 on the exact same platform. And before the COD defenders start typing essays in the comments about console players, hold up, both games are cross-platform. That excuse doesn't fly anymore. When the numbers started hitting Twitter, you could practically feel the internet losing its mind. Screenshots of Steam charts were everywhere. Memes, reactions. Battlefield fans who'd been clowned on for years finally had something to celebrate. And man, did they celebrate. It wasn't just the numbers though. It was what those numbers meant. It meant people were done being milked every single year. It meant players finally wanted something different. For the first time in a decade, COD didn't feel invincible. And trust me, this wasn't a random fluke. This was a warning shot, because the real punch hadn't even landed yet. Fast forward a few days, and reports started coming out that Battlefield 6 had hit around 1.7 million pre-orders on Steam alone. That's not counting consoles, not counting Game Pass, nothing. Just Steam. Early projections suggest it could cross 5 million sales in week 1. Now, here's where it gets hilarious. Those COD beta numbers everyone saw, they weren't just for Black Ops 7. Activision had lumped in Warzone and Black Ops 6 into the same category. 3 different COD titles combined, and they still got outperformed by one single Battlefield game. One game versus an entire franchise. That's beyond brutal. And yet, the COD marketing machine kept spinning. You'd see tweets like, "We're #1 on PlayStation pre-orders." Sure, but that only happened a week before Battlefield's launch, after months of Battlefield sitting comfortably at the top. It's like celebrating a sprint win after losing the marathon. At this point, the Battlefield community wasn't just laughing, they were cheering like they'd finally been vindicated after years of taking L's. But underneath that joy, there was something else brewing. Something way bigger than pre-order numbers.
Cheater on day 1 of the Black Ops 7 beta. You can see they're just actively playing. They watch the kill cam here, blatantly aimbotting. Like through the wall, through everything. Absolutely absurd. Day 1.
Omni movement looks as broken as possible. If you guys don't know, the jumping, the wall jumping is actually quite insane. I'm going to pause this just to show you guys what I'm talking about. I mean, good God, watch this right here. It's just broken. And imagine that with SBMM. I don't even want to get involved with that. But we are going to be playing the same game for the next year. That's what we're going to do. We're going to be having some new guns, which are broken. The TTK is insane. You guys saw that beginning clip before the video even started. It's wild. The TTK is going to be insane, but it's new guns, and we're going to have new maps, which don't even seem too crazy. Obviously, I haven't played them, so I can't tell you how they flow, but from the looks of it, it's just like, I really don't know what I'm supposed to be doing or what I'm supposed to be saying that's going to make me excited for this.
If you ask anyone why they left Call of Duty this year, they'll tell you one of 3 things. The game stopped feeling fun, it stopped feeling fair, and it stopped feeling like Call of Duty. Let's start with the obvious, skill-based matchmaking. The mechanic that everyone loves to hate. Players have been begging for years for COD to tone it down, to let casuals relax after a long day without being thrown into sweatfest lobbies. Instead, Activision doubled down. You can literally feel the difference between a casual match and a ranked match. It's identical. Every single gunfight feels like there's money on the line. Then came the tone problem. COD used to have a distinct identity. Gritty, grounded, military realistic. Somewhere along the line, it turned into a carnival. You've got rappers, cartoon characters, rainbow skins, unicorn outfits. I swear, half the lobbies look like a cosplay convention. People didn't sign up to play Fashion Warfare. They wanted Modern Warfare, and Battlefield understood that. The final straw, the cycle. Every year it's the same thing. Hype plus release, disappointment, complaints about servers, skill-based matchmaking, cheaters, then rinse and repeat next fall. This time, a chunk of the player base just said, you know what? Enough. When the Battlefield 6 beta launched, around 29% of COD players who tried it never went back. Nearly a third. That's not a minor dip. That's an exodus. To understand why this comeback hits so hard, you've got to remember where Battlefield came from. Just a few years ago, Battlefield 2042 was a disaster. Broken launch, missing features, and the community in full revolt. People wrote the series off completely. DICE was labeled finished. But instead of abandoning ship, the devs did something we don't see much anymore. They owned it. They rebuilt. They reworked the systems, brought back classic mechanics, and studied what made the old games unforgettable. And it worked. Every trailer, every dev interview screamed one message: authenticity. When people jumped into that beta, you could feel it instantly. The sound design hit like thunder. The maps felt massive again. The gunplay had weight. It wasn't perfect, but it felt real. And that's something COD forgot how to do.
On the laggiest connection I think I've actually ever played on Call of Duty, and that's saying something. I'm gonna check it later. I have to go into the menus later because I couldn't believe what was happening. The kills felt a little long on my end, you know, which is to be expected if I'm having packet lost or packet burst or high latency or whatever. But right now in the gameplay, I noticed the high latency thing isn't really happening. What caused that to turn off? I have no idea. It is not my connection though. And I want you guys to keep in mind here, what the this, by the way? It's some weird hologram, the Ana de Armas hologram, except it's some like crusty bearded guy instead.
Once you guys see the gameplay, I know I say it every year. Actually, no, I feel like I don't say it every year. But like this game specifically, I feel like a lot of people are gonna enjoy it, genuinely. And I truly mean that. Even if you're not even like a movement tech person, yo, it is the best Call of Duty of all time.
Let's be honest. Vibes matter. You can have the best mechanics in the world, but if the energy of your game feels off, people notice. Battlefield 6 just feels right. It feels serious without being boring. It's immersive without taking itself too seriously. Meanwhile, COD feels like it's trying to appeal to everyone and ends up pleasing no one. You've got operators wearing glowing armor next to soldiers in full tactical gear. You've got clown skins dancing on dead bodies while voice lines crack jokes. That used to be funny when it was rare. Now it's constant. Battlefield saw that chaos and went the opposite way. They literally blew up flashy skins in their own trailers as a statement. Like, yeah, we're not doing that here. They leaned into realism, not simulation, but groundedness. And players loved it. Finally, a shooter that respected their intelligence. It's not about being a hardcore military sim. It's about giving players a believable world to escape into. And Battlefield nailed that vibe perfectly. You could tell the Battlefield community had been waiting for this moment for years. Every time a COD creator tried to downplay the numbers or make excuses, Battlefield fans were there, armed with screenshots, charts, and memes that went viral overnight. One of my favorites was a tweet showing the COD beta numbers next to Battlefield's. 3 games combined versus 1. Still lost brutal, but funny. For a long time, Battlefield players felt like the underdogs of the FPS world. COD got all the attention, all the sponsorships, all the hype. Now the tables have turned and it feels good. It's not just about competition, it's about pride. Everywhere you look online, Reddit, Twitter, YouTube, the energy is different. People are excited again. They're talking about map design, vehicle combat, soundscapes, stuff that used to make Battlefield special. It's like the community woke up from a long sleep and remembered what it means to love an FPS game again.
Battlefield beta was the best beta I have ever played, ever. And they set the bar really high, just as far as like how smoothly a beta can go, how much you could be hyped up for a game. Even their event was way better than Call of Duty Next. And like at most, Battlefield 6 maybe had some server issues at one point, but like it was fixed pretty quickly in my opinion. And I think they made it very apparent that they just do not care anymore. Like every now and then they'll put out these updates to Twitter and everything saying like, oh, this is coming, new anti-cheat, blah, blah, blah. It's almost just like they just don't care at all anymore. This beta, in my opinion, sucks. Now, one of the reasons I do think it sucks is because I think this game should have been last year's BO6 game. This should have been that game. In my personal opinion, the future stuff I could give or take. I think it's some parts on the maps are just like a little too futuristic. I think there's a fine line where I'd like really like a modern game and then like maybe some futuristic things in it. I think that would be a good mix.
Meanwhile, COD fans are in a weird place. A lot of them are frustrated but scared to move on. It's that toxic relationship feeling. Every year, they hope things will be better, and every year, they get burned again. And Activision knows this. They've mastered the art of short-term hype. Celebrity skins, over-the-top trailers, early access bonuses. But when the dust settles, it's the same product underneath. Battlefield 6 exposed that cycle. The scary part for COD isn't just losing a few players, it's losing trust. Once people realize they don't need COD to enjoy an FPS, that loyalty vanishes. And that's what's happening right now. Sure, some players will always stick with COD, that's fine. But the balance has shifted. Battlefield is no longer the alternative. It's the main attraction.
Are you kidding me? Watch how fast he's killing these guys.
I can't go through there.
Bro!
Yeah, I'll get you 3. There we go. All right, we're back.
What are we playing, man? Seriously!
Yeah, hey, bro, what are they doing? Oh, yep, Sim's using the sniper. Watch this.
What the
What
the
Oh my god, that scared the fuck out of me.
Look at the way he's holding the character. They're playing Fiend. Caught his back.
Now the big question, can Battlefield keep this up? History tells us that momentum is fragile. If EA tries to chase quick cash again, aggressive skins, overpriced DLC, live service greed, it could all fall apart. But right now, things look promising. The devs are active, transparent, and genuinely seem to care about feedback. Updates during the beta phase already showed quick adjustments based on player reports. That's how you build trust, by showing you're listening. The smartest thing DICE can do now is stay humble. Keep refining. Don't let success turn into arrogance. Because if they play this right, Battlefield 6 won't just be a comeback. It'll redefine what the FPS genre looks like for the next generation. This shift isn't just about two franchises. It's about what players value now. People are tired of being treated like numbers. They want games with soul, not just marketing. They want effort, not manipulation. Battlefield 6 represents that change. It's proof that players can still decide the outcome. You can't buy passion with microtransactions. You can't trick loyalty with bundles. You earn it. And what's happening right now feels like the start of something new. The same way COD 4 changed the industry back in 2007, Battlefield 6 might be doing that again in 2025, but in the opposite direction. It's reminding everyone that authenticity still matters.
This literally is the death of Call of Duty. Battlefield 6 is going to come in and curb stomp Call of Duty this year. This is looking at this game, it's exactly the same as Black Ops 6 besides the text and the UI.
Prestige it. That type of that is a legendary, especially with the current prestige we have for our regular levels.
Was that in a certain game before?
It was, I know it was in BO2, BO3.
Yeah, that's the last one.
So basically what it does is you unlock camos through prestige and the weapons.
See, now
That's different.
What are we doing, dude? Stop the acting, boys. It's
We lost B.
What is happening? Oh no. Oh no.
having fun? Oh no, bro. Absolutely not. It's getting even worse. It's so bad. It is so bad right now.
Rally on me with the rebound.
Yo, pick me up.
At the end of the day, it's kind of poetic. The same franchise that used to dominate without competition is now being humbled by the one rival that refused to die. For years, COD looked untouchable. Now, they're on the defensive. You can feel the shift. Battlefield 6 didn't just win in player numbers, it won in heart. It reminded people why they fell in love with shooters in the first place. And that's what makes this so satisfying to watch. Because this isn't just about Battlefield winning, it's about gamers winning, the ones who got tired of recycled maps, overpriced skins, and being ignored. So, yeah, COD's still huge, it'll still sell millions. But that aura of invincibility, gone. For the first time in forever, Battlefield isn't chasing anyone, it's leading. So, what happens now? Well, that's up to us. If Battlefield keeps listening and COD keeps pretending nothing's wrong, the future of FPS gaming might finally shift for good. We've seen this story before. Giants fall when they stop respecting their fans. And right now, Activision's feeling that heat. It's a great time to be a gamer again. A great time to see real competition, real innovation, and a community that actually cares. Because when Battlefield 6 launched, it didn't just release a game, it reignited a movement. Call of Duty might have built the throne, but Battlefield just pulled the rug out from under it. And honestly, I couldn't be happier. If you've been watching this whole saga unfold, drop a comment. Whose side are you on right now? Battlefield or COD? I'll be in the replies all day reading your takes. And if you want more breakdowns like this, make sure you hit that sub button and turn the bell on. I've got plenty more coming. This FPS war, it's just getting started.